Oh my goodness. Never fear. Kev is here. I'm back, returning from my paid sick leave.
Here.
And luckily for you, you are tuned in to the Fifth Quarter Sports Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Kevlar. Treat them well. And yes, I try to treat them very well. Join with me as always. Actually, I can't even do that part of the intro yet. We're going to skip over Skip, Mr. Diamond Dirty D for life, and the Kick Step King, Coach Abe. Fellas, what it is, what it ain't. What up?
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties. I may look a little 3D-ish. I'm having some little issues with my computer, but I'm glad to be back off my hiatus, off paid leave, as Kel said. But definitely good to be back. Ready to talk some football and with pro, college, and little league. We back at it.
There we go. D, what you got for me?
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here. We back doing what we do. Trying to see what Skip and Nate are at. But hey, we got Coach Abe here. Glad to see you back, sir. Kev is back from his little induced of NyQuil and Mucinex from last week. But I'm happy to be here.
Nothing went in my system. Everything just came out.
So we're going to have a little fun. We got a lot to talk about. Some stuff that I didn't get in. We got NFL Combine coming up, too, this week. So we good to go. But take it away, brother.
All right. Well, let me just tell y'all. Got a little feedback there. Let me just tell y'all how friggin' great it is being an American. Because we will take whatever sport you are known best for and beat you in the championship when the world is watching. Of course, I'm talking about the U.S.-Canada hockey match for the gold in Milan to end start the last day of the Olympics. Getting up at 8 a.m. to watch a hockey game is something I never thought I'd do, but there we go. Fellas, anything on that game?
Listen, this was a build-up. We had a build-up going that this was the matchup, and great marketing by the Olympics to showcase this the last night before the closing ceremonies. And, of course, Canada was talking trash from the beginning. You really didn't hit too much of the U.S. because usually in these games, back then, remember, Kev, Russia used to always whoop our butt in hockey. Now it's become this rivalry because of what's in the NHL, Canada players versus the U.S. and so forth. And this was a big buildup that we was waiting on. And it's amazing how they did. I'm glad both teams did what they supposed to do in all the other rounds to get to the final. So we did have this matchup because all the hype. Usually when we get this hype, what happens? Somebody don't show up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, hey, Abe, I don't know if you remember, but it has been a year. That was February last year that they had the that little quick round robin tournament for the what was it, 8 different countries, and that was where this Canada-U.S. rivalry kind of came back to being mainstream, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and definitely coming into this match, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I didn't think we had a chance. You know what I'm saying? But we rose to it, man, and it was a great game. I think that's probably the first. Let me see. That's the first hockey game I ever watched in my entire life, or just glimpsed at because I didn't watch the whole thing. You feel what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I say that to say red, white, and blue better than you every day. All right. Well, hey, last Thursday, the Teddy Bridgewater Act was passed unanimously in the Florida Senate. So what this will do, it authorizes K through 12 head coaches to contribute up to $15,000 per year of their own funds to benefit student athletes. If y'all remember last year, he was suspended for paying for Ubers and food and whatnot for his athletes. So, this will be going into effect starting this year.
I'm glad this is possible for him because he did do a lot for the community and the kids that he had going on. They actually went and, played for a state championship and everything. And it's always something. We see it here in the state of Georgia. And it's been going on since me and this gentleman, we played way back younger and things of this nature. But it should be about the children. And if the coach is able to provide some kind of financial help, let them do it. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to a good cause and it's not harming the kid. I've seen this gentleman here sacrifice and do what he have to do, traveling across state lines with kids and doing things he need to do. And I'm talking about not high schoolers. These kids are middle school kids, just to make sure you provide a positive influence and making sure they get exposure that they need.
So for me, right, I'm glad it got passed, but I'm also like, why are we here? Why did it even have to come to it being that to get passed? Because I mean, coaches do it. I'm sure all around the country, some of it just goes untold, it's just an unwritten rule that happens. You feel what I'm saying? It may not be 15,000, it may be 1,500, it may be 150, but whatever, a coach at some point, and I ain't even talking about at the high school level, will spend some of his money to go into that team, whether it's food, whatever it is. You feel what I'm saying? So it's already happening. That's why I'm like, why are we doing this? Why is this have to be a thing? You feel what I'm saying? But I'm definitely happy that it happened because it'll further prevent stuff like this of what happening with Bridgewater. Is he going back coaching? I'm not really sure, but I was. It just puzzles me that we had to get to a point to pass a bill and act for coaches to help their team. And it's not even about illegal stuff. It's just the necessities. A ride, some groceries, some Gatorade. You feel what I'm saying? So even though I'm glad it happened, it got passed, just coming as a coach, I'm like, come on, bro. Like why?
You're right. I don't disagree with that. All right. I got one more story here before we jump into tonight's topics. I thought this one was kind of interesting. A Florida Gators donor has shared some insight into Eugene Wilson III's NIL demands. All right.
Come on.
Remain on the field unless tired. $350K up front, $75K every 3 months until the end of the season. Team issued photographer to follow him around at all times on campus.
Is he a freshman coming in, or is he a?
Let's see here.
It don't even matter, Abe. Like what are we doing here?
I think my favorite part is the camera crew.
Like what are we doing here? So you trying to get
what
paid?
They allow it, and I don't mean to cut you off, D, but I think that's why Kirby does. And I've been questioning it, like, hey man, we've been to the last couple of playoffs. We ain't down one. We probably lost in the first game we played, and it's partly because we ain't cutting the check. But stuff like this is why I see Kirby being a little reluctant with just NIL and his team to death. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta you gotta get a hold on it some kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like NIL has taken over. You feel what I'm saying? So
I'm not.
I watched your facial expression change as you read that.
But you know, but see, that's again, I don't understand because I'm looking at the situation of the presidents, like you said. This is why Kirby's in the situation. As we seen, Texas Tech this year had a donor come in and just put bukus of money in the program. And what happens? They go to a playoff game, they lose it, but you see what the influx of the money is done. Now you got kids. We just seen the lawsuit with Rashada and the same Florida university that they're going through, and Billy Napier is not even there anymore. So, you know, this is becoming like just the wild, wild west of college football. Until the NCAA figures out what they want to do and get back over control of it, which is going to be hard now because you let it open. You open up Pandora's box. You telling me a kid is telling the team that I want a photographer to walk around and film me doing what? Because if you're not practicing or studying, what else could you be doing on a college campus besides partying? Right? What you gonna film me in the workout? You know what I'm saying? So that means everybody else gonna be on film with you because we working out together. You know, it's interesting. I mean, because I have a fun fact. One of my closest friends, stepson plays basketball, local college in the city. Went to the games, whatever. Kev, I have seen this just on this level of college basketball, not GT. I'm not Georgia Tech, but the other. And you see these guys, they're getting a little form of money. They walking around with the big chains on, whatever. And I see this little handler that's walking behind them. And he looks like a teenager or one of their homeboys or whatever. Just imagine on the level of the Kentuckys and all that of the world of those top tier, what is going on in the stand. Because they're the scouts, they are there. But it's more money involved now. So I get it. And I see why Dion said what he said about finding them by doing what they're not supposed to. You making more money than the coach. Kev, I believe you had something to do with this.
True.
So I'm sorry.
I believe you had something to do with this.
Same thing I told you when we started streaming on here. It's basically like Instagram Reels. People can just scroll through and.
Of course.
Well, let's go ahead and move into tonight's business. Abe, since we have just missed you so much around here, we are going to start with your Atlanta Falcons. Your Atlanta Falcons. Looks like they are planning to place a franchise tag on tight end Kyle Pitts. What do you think of this move?
I think you should do it. You want to give him 1 year again to further prove himself with once again another coordinator, probably another quarterback. So he's to me, he's your fourth option on offense if you have Algier, which you probably won't have him because you're gonna lose him to free agency. But you need to keep him because of the injuries to Drake London. Drake London has yet to play a full season. He's only played a full season once. So we definitely need a receiving threat down the field, the middle of the field. And, right now, other than Drake, Kyle Pitts is the person who does that. It may not be consistently, but he does it. So, I'm not upset that it happened. I'm not thrilled that it happened either. I figured that it would. But, it's just a lot of uncertainty with Stefanski them coming in. Not bad uncertainty, but just want to see because he's supposed to be the tight end whisperer, and I do feel like that they want a shot at things with him, and a lot has to happen because you probably gonna release Kurt, and it's just a lot to say because, like I said, you don't even know who's gonna be throwing to him because, of course, you're not gonna have Penix at the start. And will you release Kurt then bring it back on a different number or whatever may happen with that? So, but all in all, man, I'm glad. I mean, I'm satisfied, neutral with the move. That's what I'll say.
Interesting with the $15 million hit. Because that's what the market is. He had an awesome year this year. I can't take nothing from him. Certain instances we needed him to do a lot more that we thought to take over a game. Outside of London, he's your only vertical type playmaking threat in the passing game. Do I think you guys need to go in the draft because we got the combine coming up this week? You need to find later round talent at the wide receiver spot because to me, Mooney can't stay healthy either. I think you need another slot receiver.
I like Branch in the second.
I don't mind. If you can pull him, you need to get him. You need to get him because he'll complement everything that you got going on.
And with all this going on with Grand Theft Auto DN, what's his name? GTA.
Which one?
He talking about his.
James Pierce. I would like for you to let us get Jalen Phillips off your hands, sir. If y'all not.
Oh, really? Well, we don't do too many dealings with y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? We don't do too much dealing with y'all, but
I don't think you're gonna be able to pay Jalen Phillips though.
Something gonna have to give. We got to figure that out. We got a lot of stuff we got to figure out. But it's gonna be interesting all season because, like I said, to be honest, guys, the combine didn't creep up on us really quickly. It seemed like we were just talking about the Super Bowl. We almost in combine talk already, and these people getting interviews and interesting where these guys' lives is finna change in the brink of the next 6 months and so forth and so on. But you got to be really understanding of what's going on with all these franchises and what we're seeing and what we're dealing with. And I think the Falcons, this is a pivotal year for the Falcons. You got a new coach, new GM. You got to figure out this quarterback situation because either he's going to be here as the starter or he's going to be a backup and you're going to get somebody else next year.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. How does this franchise tag for Pitts? Let me rephrase this. Do you think the Cowboys are paying attention?
Everybody is.
Because obviously the big story going around is this year's drama in Dallas. What's going to happen with George Pickens? I believe they will actually sign him and get a deal done this year.
Kev, the question that is he your number one wide receiver? As far as the productivity that was put up this year, because that's where the controversy is going to come in at. Yes, he didn't got his money. The market, as you see, is going to gauge.
I won't. So what will tell that D is what he gets paid. That will tell if he's their number one or their number two receiver.
I agree with you, but does he get number one?
What's CD getting per year?
It will tell. Will he get it on the free agent market though? Because if you franchise tag him,
he's signed 4 years, 136.
But I'm saying if you franchise tag him, he gonna get Chase money. Am I right?
Yeah, you're not gonna franchise.
So you ain't gonna franchise. So you not gonna give him Chase money.
The smartest play for the Joneses is to kind of, softly let him hear some other offers. Let him hear some other offers because I think that's where they'll base what they'll pay him on. I think Jerry's gonna see. I'm gonna tell you, and because that was a good question you had, D. Who's the number one? George Pickens would be the number one if his attitude was bad. If we could have counted on him in those clutch moments where we needed him, the whole season he came in clutch a lot, like the whole season. But he had those games that we had to question.
But
he signed. So CD signed 4 years, 138. So what are you gonna sign Pickens to?
But hold up. But Kev, the same time what you saying, CD dropped a lot of crucial balls in some crucial situations.
Very true. Very true. CD had some ball control issues.
And this is before George Pickens got here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you catching 125 balls, but you dropping 20 of them over the course of the year. And I'm talking about you dropping stuff when the game on the line. So I'm just trying to figure out where the market is, and then you got to break down what teams. I'm gonna be honest with you, if I was the Falcons, I'd take a flyer on it.
I agree with that. However, if you do that,
Drake gone.
There you go. Now, if you do that, Drake gone, because you still got to pay running back McCaffrey money in another year or two. You see what I'm saying? So if we take a fly at that, Drake gone. You feel what I'm saying? And am I gonna take him over Drake? Yes, I certainly will. Yes, I will.
See? So the problem again, Kev, what you're looking at is you got money tied in the CD. You still got that. You just signed that running back to come in for 1 year, trying to see how that's going to work out again. Y'all had a good running back running this year. Now y'all going to try it again with the 1 year deal with the guy y'all got coming in. I don't know what you do. Y'all in an interesting situation. Go ahead.
We're in an interesting situation, but the good thing is we have money to burn.
CD makes 34 per, sir.
Yeah, they got $100 million up front.
What are you paying Pickens?
I'm sorry, 38.
If CD's making that, what are you paying Pickens, sir?
115.
He ain't gonna take that, Kev.
You paying him like a number two.
Good thing I'm not an NFL agent.
You just said, wait, Kev, no, Kev. You just said he's your number.
I
said he could be
one, right?
I said he could be. So then here's the biggest dilemma. You tell him we're going to franchise you. Obviously, CD's having some drop passes here. You were our main guy this season, but those days you didn't show up. You were our main guy and shined the most when CD wasn't on the field. CD is still a big enough factor to take the spotlight from you. That's why he shined the most when CD was injured for 6 weeks. And when CD was back, that's when he started not trying to get open. He didn't have a problem dropping passes. He just didn't try to get open.
He's your true X receiver, bottom line. CD got to be moved around, put in a slot and so forth. Scheme, whatever. I think George Pickens can run every route in the route tree, in my opinion. And catches every ball, every type of which way possible. I think his hands are better than CD's, in my opinion. But you got to look at the two tandems, and I'm just using them, Jamar Chase and the other gentleman up there in Cincinnati. How much is he getting paid? Because that's what you got to look at. Because you're looking at running mates now. You see what I'm saying? Just like Devontae Smith and AJ. Those are running mates at the wide receiver spot. You don't have too many players in the league that got two all Pro Bowl type tandems at wide receiver. That's getting a lot of money. Yes, Cincinnati did what they did. Philadelphia, we got
that wide receiver tag. That wide receiver tag is 28 though, so that's not terrible.
It's not bad. Is he gonna take that? That's you know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta ask.
Yeah, man, I think he'll take it. That's his payday.
You say 115 million over 4 years. That's 28.7. That's what. See, so I said 115. That's what the market calls for right now.
No, sir. But you just said that he. So what is he? What receiver is he? That's a Y check right there. That's a wide receiver 2 check right there.
So you got a basis.
Now, if he'll take a discount just because he know CD across the way, then But
and I think that's the part of it not as many people are talking about. Remember all those years they talked about how Brady didn't go for the number 1 contract so he could have people around him. It'll kind of, I feel like it's a prove it moment for Pickens as well, to show Dallas that he's there to try to build this thing and go do something.
Well, Kev, to push back what you're saying, he already had the prove it moment coming in.
True.
When he got traded. The problem is what you do, the comparison that you say using that as the quarterback position. As Dak can restructure his contract, then there you go. Dak has already said on record he wants to keep him there. So somebody got to do something.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's move on. Enough about Dallas. I didn't see any report on this, but D, it looks like your Philadelphia Eagles will be allowed to do their tush push.
Yes. Nobody voted on it. It's a football move. But you know what happened? Everybody started using it to a form of extension. You seen Buffalo doing it. You seen other teams playing around, not to the success rate, but they were doing it. It ain't nothing but a quarterback sneak. We know it.
Yeah, because they waited until the ball was snapped to move.
You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. If it's done what it's done. Play football, shut up. It is what it is. Basically, quarterback sneak play.
I do think that you're going to see a lot more attention to it because the NFL is also going over allowing the replay refs to throw flags. They are talking about Skip. Welcome to the show. The NFL and the commissioners and the heads that be are talking about letting the replay officials throw a flag if they see something in replay later on, which would also allow them to pick up a flag if they can review it and see that it is in fact not a penalty. We've been asking for something like this for a while. What do we think?
Well, I came in on the back end of the conversation, but if they're letting the replay officials throw flags, they might as well put 2 more officials on the field. Mm-hmm. If he got the power and the use of a camera to make sure he's right, because a replay official will be 100% correct because he got the camera, they should replay all controversial calls or non-calls the same way. You see what I'm saying? Like they got these plays that can't be reviewed, even though it's blatant that it was a foul. It can't be reviewed because the ref blew the whistle. Come on now. If you're gonna fix one part of it, fix all of it.
Hey, got anything? You got a little delay.
You said the replay official gonna be able to replay what, Kev? I'm sorry.
If there's a miss, an obvious missed call, we see Abe, just don't hear you. If there's an obvious missed call, then they can go back and replay and call a flag on it.
And here we go again. They're finding ways and showing ways that something is going on while the game is going on. That we have seen questionable calls and pass interference and holding
and no calls.
And no calls, you know what I'm saying? Offsides and hits after the play and so forth and so on.
Like I said, they know what to do exactly. They know exactly what to do to fix it. They just want to piece us. They want to piecemeal us. We're gonna give them this for the next 3 years, see how this works, versus just saying, you know what, overhaul all of it. You get what I'm saying? Overhaul the whole thing. Don't overhaul one part. Go ahead, Coach. Can you hear us?
Yeah, he's just got a little delay.
They got a little delay.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I said, I came in on the back end of it, but it's almost like you got all this money, you got all this technology, and the same problem has been happening for the last replay has been how long now? 10 years? 15 years?
It's been what?
How long has replay been in the NFL? 15 years?
Longer than it's been replaying since I was a kid.
Okay, so there you go. And now you're going to add one more aspect of it when you know all the problems we have. These rules about nothing, certain things are not reviewable is stupid. If it's a foul, it should be reviewable.
Well, even like you said, we just seen now they have this 3D meter of where the ball is placed. How do y'all have that? So somebody can know where that ball is placed correctly, and they sure they're getting measured without the chain game coming out there. So I agree. If you're going to do this, the game is going to go longer. You know what I'm saying? The game is going to go longer, as we know.
But that ain't no issue for nobody watching football. Most of us tailgating, partying anyway. So what's another 20 minutes onto a game that lasts 2 hours anyway?
I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you. But then, you know what I'm saying? That means we know who hand is involved when we see an obvious foul on the play, which is one every play. It's a foul every play.
Right. We're not talking about ticky-tack fouls, though. We're talking about game-changing calls, game-changing missed calls. You know, then you get ticky-tack in the last 2 minutes. That, to me, shows corruption. You know, they've been beating each other. The receiver and the cornerback been fighting all game. Now, all of a sudden, 2 minutes, it's a foul on the winning team. You get what I'm saying? So, wow.
Yeah, I don't know, because you also look at, then it'll come down to, well, what the hell are we paying the refs for?
Pretty much.
I mean, that comment was very true. When they had flag review a couple of years ago, they just always went with the call on the field because they don't want to make themselves look bad. Yeah, because if they pick up 3 flags a game, you'll be sitting there looking at that officiating crew going, what the hell are y'all doing?
But as they should. I'm
That's
quite sure
almost 60 bad calls a year.
Yeah, but I'm quite sure they have a B league and a C league of refs. You know what I mean? The next set of refs coming up. Get that corruption out of there. Kev, as much money as they make, most of these guys are judges and doctors and lawyers and stuff. So they get paid regardless of the job of refereeing. So this is a hobby to you. Do your hobby right. Now, those basketball refs, those guys don't have the same. Most of these NFL players, NFL referees are super professionals. So if they can't do it, get them out of there. All that making them look bad. The product is looking bad because y'all are doing bad.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into the Braves spring game. Let's see here. I had it pulled up just a second ago. What are we on? The 23rd? There we go. They did beat the Orioles today, 10-7. They are 2-1. Both of those wins coming on the road.
Shout out to RJ Austin. Boobie Austin's son. He's in the major leagues for the Baltimore Orioles. He played for Vanderbilt last year. He did get drafted. We was waiting to see was he's going to play against the Braves. Hell of a talent of a young man. But this is a crucial season for the Braves with all the talk around the city of is Acuna still going to be here in a couple of years because that 10-year contract is coming up. It's a possibility they're saying they can move on from him and get a haul. You got Albies that's still here. Some of the other guys are the mainstays. I'm telling you now, if Acuna leave here, I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry. I have been a Braves fan since a child, but Acuna is the superstar. Even though we know he's been injured, who else do you have on that team that's a superstar MVP caliber that'll put butts in the seats? Me personally, I think the Braves don't have enough pitching. We lacking in that part of it, bullpen and starting pitching, in my opinion, to get us back where we trying to get to. Will they be successful? Yes, barring injury. Barring injury.
You've been a Braves fan forever.
Yep.
And if this superstar leaves, you done.
Yep.
All the superstars that left the Braves before.
Yes, and I was pissed then, but we to the point now. You got to think he's homegrown outside of Chipper Jones, right?
Okay.
Because everybody else that we got, besides Chipper, Andrew, a Javi Lopez type character, he's homegrown that we brought up. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And the Freddie Freeman. You let Freddie walk.
They traded him.
He did not get traded, Skip. He was a free agent.
How do we get there? Okay, he went to the Dodgers and we got their first baseman. So
we did not get their first baseman. We got the first baseman from the Oakland A's. So Matt Olson came from the Oakland A's as a free agent.
Okay.
So they let him walk. So what I'm saying is, if this happened, what we gonna get? That's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
For a guy that stays injured and can't play 90 games a year, I don't see how you can make that statement. That man ain't played a full season the last 5 seasons or last 4 seasons.
He played a full season a year before last year.
No, the year before last year when he had the steroid issue.
Acuna's never had a steroid issue.
Didn't he get suspended for something?
No, he blew his knee out 2 years ago. He came back and played when they hit all them home runs. 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they won the World Series, he blew his knee out. He came back the next year. They came back the next year and played. Won the MVP. Then he got hurt again and blew the knee out again. He's never been caught up in no PED issue. Skip. The guy we just picked up out of free agent got caught up in a PED issue.
All right.
So the only thing he does is he do a little hot dog and showboating. The kids love him and so forth and so on. That's your superstar of your team.
I know this. If a fan leave a team because of a superstar's departure, whether it be money, whether they couldn't afford him, whether he was just ready to go, or whether they couldn't win, and a true fan. We've had more. I think we've had just as many superstars leave this team via free agency trade or expiring contracts than any other team in the league. The Braves have. And because Acuna's leaving, you do?
That's me.
Okay.
That's me.
I'm trying to find this.
Because the reason why I'm saying that, Skip, local radio here has shown me when they start talking about stuff on sports radio here in Atlanta, it tends to put a dark cloud over the teams. They start talking about Trae Young. Where's Trae Young at? He's gone. They start talking about the Falcons and the situation with Cousin, Raheem Morris, the GM and so forth. Where are they now? Gone.
Is it their fault they gone, D?
No, I'm just talking to you how when they start putting something and stirring the pot, here we go. They're putting it out as commentators do, sports writers and so forth. Hey, we Atlanta fans, y'all better get used to it. Acuna might not be here too much longer because
it's the truth, though.
I don't have no problem with it. I'm just telling you as a fan, as me being a Braves fan, me. Not
I get what you're saying. No, we ain't talking about your fandom now. We're talking about what you said about the news media doing all this stuff and it's happening. You got to think they're reporting on stuff they've heard, confidential informants, rumors, talking to people inside the organizations. So if they're telling you what's happening and you're mad because they true?
No, I'm not mad. What I'm saying is you're stirring up a pot and the season hasn't started.
That's what the media does.
So when you do that, I'm talking about the local. When you do that, of course, we know you got the Philadelphia radio, they're nuts. Chicago radio, they nuts. New York radio, they nuts. We know this. Mm-hmm. But now the influence of the outside media is coming in here that I've never heard them when we had the Chippers, the Freddie Freemans, and all these different players that you just stated. We never heard them talk about saying, oh, we need to get rid of him. Oh, we need to let him walk. Oh, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need to do this. When it was obvious some players were over the hill, they brought in players that were past their prime and all that. You know that, Skip. Come on now.
Well, you're telling me, and Chipper was right at the internet boom thing, so he don't count as far as social media goes. You're telling me that they don't do this, they didn't do the same thing with the Falcons?
I agree with you with the Falcons. I just said
They don't do it with the Hawks?
Trey Young is the only one they mess with.
It's not Trey Young's fault he gone?
No.
Or is it the front office fault that they can't put nobody around it?
You know what? The whole organization.
So, because the news reported that he was going to get gone, we're talking Acuna now. Because if they can't bring no pitching in here, he's supposed to go.
Okay.
But you're going to be mad and quit being a Braves fan because they lose him or because he left.
No, if they
hang on, Skip. I'm gonna try to put it in some simpler terms on I think what D's getting at with that statement.
Ham Savage. Okay. You remember that TV show, The Rock?
I'm gonna put it. I think I can put it in simpler terms.
Okay.
D. Remember last year when the entire fan base, including myself, was just saying how stupid it would be if Jerry Jones let Micah Parsons go.
Yep.
I think it's one of those situations right here with what D is saying with Acuna.
Well, I think
you're letting a guy go who will bleed and die for this team.
Right. But I think the difference is in the Micah situation and the Acuna situation is they wouldn't pay Micah.
That's a fact.
They tried to underhand him or shortchange him, and then he had leverage. This ain't what's going on with Acuna.
Well, no, Skip, I got to give you a little pushback on that because what the Braves did, the Braves signed him to a 10-year contract at a real low number, where you've got the Otonis, the Bryce Harpers of the world have gotten big time money.
You're right.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying when they're talking about it, because they know for a fact if the Braves going to come off $500 million for Acuna.
And see that's right there. There's two major players that I can remember right off the top of my head that signed long-term contract that was worth it regardless of who got paid what. A-Rod, every time he signed a 10-year contract, it was for $250 million, $250 million. So he was going to be in the highest paid echelon regardless of what happened to everybody else. If Acuna's agent and himself wasn't smart to say, if I sign 10 years, I'm already an all-star, I'm already a superstar. In 5 years, I'm going to be underpaid. That's what you got an agent for. So let's not throw that out there like it's the Braves' fault. That was smart on their behalf. Let's go to
No. I agree. Now, wait a minute. I agree with you on that. It was smart what the Braves did. They locked up all their young talent, not just Acuna. The guy at third base, they gave him some money. They locked up all the young talent, but eventually you're going to have to pay the piper. So as of right now, the only thing the Braves leverage on with him, he's been injured. He's been injured. We know that. But now he hasn't even hit 30 yet, or whatever they want to call the prime of his years of baseball. And if he has
32. 26 to 32.
Okay, so you go into that and you seeing as an Acuna, you know what? I'm looking at Shohei over here getting this money. I'm as good or even better than Shohei in his mindset. Listen, his mindset.
Okay.
His mindset, because we've seen Shohei be injured where he couldn't pitch. He couldn't do nothing but DH.
And what did he do at DH? He led the National League in home runs.
Oh, he did his thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He did his thing.
Let's not use the injury bug because he still performed.
What I'm saying to you is,
okay,
that's what they're curving and putting out there on Acuna. He's been injured, but you're not saying this for another guy who's gotten paid.
Right, but again, it goes back to Acuna signing a 10-year deal that pretty much he sold his soul for that upfront money. As a young superstar, everybody knew Acuna was going to be it. He was it when he signed his 10-year deal. So for now to be mad because the Bryce Harbors and all these guys making 50, 60, 70 a year, and you're better than them, that was just you and your agent's fault. nobody but y'all's fault.
Well, at the time, he had won the MVP when he got paid.
And he was the highest paid player in his position at that time.
No, he was not. He's not been the highest paid player at his position. He's not even the highest paid player on the Braves team.
I'm talking about when he signed the contract, D.
He was not the highest paid. At the time he signed that contract, Freddie Freeman was on the team. That's what I'm saying. You got to go look. When he got paid them 10 years, his value was, they got him on a good deal. It was smart business move by the Braves. But now you're going to have to come and pay. Are you going to pay him?
How many years left on this contract, on that 10-year contract?
It's finna be up.
So this is the last year or next year gonna be
last year? Next year, I think, but it's finna be up.
Okay. So guess what's gonna happen? If they don't get pitching in here and make it deep in the playoffs, trade bait. They can bring in 2 more superstars and some draft picks for them. That's just the nature of the business.
2 more superstars.
Of course. They can get an up-and-coming pitcher or up-and-coming left fielder. What's the young boy name that came out of high school and went straight to the Washington Nationals? No pitcher, 6'7" dude.
He Strasburg. He done.
Again, they can get a talent like him for an Acuna, correct?
You gonna give up a talent?
You're gonna have to if you're not gonna give up $500 million.
I'm just saying, unproven talent for Acuna.
Oh, baseball contracts are so wild.
No, I agree with what you're saying.
You listen to what you're saying, dog.
Yes, I am.
Everybody's unproven until they get on the field.
Okay.
All right. We are going to move into our last subject of the night here. Skip.
That is crazy. I've never been told that.
I don't know. Skip, Chuck. I think Chuck said they're undervaluing Acuna. He is not the highest paid on the team, but he's the only MVP. The only player that compared to the pitcher is the pitcher who won the Cy Young, which is Chris Sales. Then basically your only all-star besides Austin Riley and my boy over there, Albies. And then you got the rookie of the year behind the plate.
Right, but Chuck, in saying that they're undervaluing him, I don't think so. He signed this contract. If everybody was going to sign 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, 20-year contract, and then 6-7 years later, oh man, I messed up. I want to get paid more. You signed the contract, so they're not undervaluing. He undervalued himself. He didn't bet on himself.
In all fairness, that was 10 years ago. All right, I'm going to get into the next subject here. Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Clarissa Shields. Long rival, Franchon Cruz Dizern.
Did y'all see the fight?
I saw the highlights of it. But either way, Clarissa Shields won the fight. Unanimously, all 3 judges scored the fight 100-90 in a 10-round.
Go ahead.
So I seen the press conference. It was a melee at the press conference, so forth and so on. Skip, you could tell me. I heard they was friends before, whatever the case.
No, they're best friends. They business partners.
And so forth and so on. She made the comments that she was going. She wished she had the money to fly in Remy Ma and sit up front seat. You know the banter that goes back and forth before the fight. I'm going to turn it over to you because I was told the first 3 rounds, old girl was giving it to her, but she gave out of gas. I'm just paraphrasing.
Hey, you can go on YouTube and watch the whole fight. It's 27 minutes. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
That girl came out, and I can't box. I know how to fight, street fight. So I'm not a boxer, but I understand the sport and I understand the science of it. That girl came out, and when everybody's fresh, she looked like a world beater. She's bigger than Clarissa, and she pushed her. She threw a jab and then ran into her and forced her into the ropes and leaned on her. And the crowd was going crazy, but she wasn't landing no punches. So Clarissa backed up in the corner. First round, D, she hit Clarissa with a right hook, and Clarissa hit her with a 10-piece combo and backed her ass up to the middle of the ring. First round. So when people say she was giving it to her, oh, everybody get it. Floyd got hit. You get what I'm saying? Clarissa looked like a man in there boxing. The way she was putting her combinations together. She was slipping and sliding, stepping to the left, throwing the right hook, the left hook. If she had knockout power, that girl would have been out in the first round. She's not a knockout artist. We know that she ain't got but 3 of her 20 whatever fights. But when I say Clarissa looked like a big sister to little sister in there, the girl was bigger than her, so all she did was lay on her and hug her and hold her glove and then try to rabbit punch her and stuff like that. Clarissa beat the shit. Look at her face. If y'all saw the clips, look at that girl's face. It was almost like a jab fest. She was jabbing the shit. She made her look like she had no business being a heavyweight. That's how bad she beat that girl. That's why it was 100-90. She beat her every single round. And every time the girl got a punch in, it was like, okay, take this with your pap, 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 pap. Not 2-punch combos, but 3, 4, and 5-punch combos every time she threw. So, no. And then, Clarissa's, I kind of wish she had been in when Layla was there, just so I could have seen her whoop Layla's ass. Because Layla didn't fight not one boxer that had the skill that this girl got. Not one. Don't get me wrong, Layla was good because my brother and I went down to Old Philip. It was the Army then when they fought here, when she fought the Fraser's daughter here. We was at that fight. And Layla was laying the punches, and it sounded like bombs going off the way she was hitting that girl. But, those what is it, 10-ounce gloves or 12-ounce gloves that they use? When you hit flush with it, that's what it sounds like. But I'm saying to myself, if she ever hit me like that, I was going to shoot her. But no, man, Clarissa dominated ain't the word. It should be another word more than dominated because she beat her in every aspect of the game. She really punished her the whole fight. Now, one more thing real quick. You know how, Kev, you like to go over the other fights. I saw the fight before, which was the 6'4" girl or whatever, the big girl. She knocked out this lady that they said that she was going to beat this girl. But Clarissa whooped her last year, this big, tall girl. Mm-hmm. The way she knocked her out was left hook, followed through with elbow collar, stood her up, and then a right hook shut her lights out. And immediately on the little screen, she should fight Clarissa. Now, if y'all have been following, y'all know Clarissa knocked her ass down in the 9th round last year when she whooped the shit out of her. Beat her every round. So there's nobody in Clarissa's gonna go undefeated unless she goes in there playing around. There's nothing for her nowhere. As far as just skill set, she got it. I don't see her losing.
And what I do see in her fights, these young ladies so amped up to try to beat her. They're running at her.
Yeah, and she dabbing it.
And she sits back and just tattoo them all the time. They run out like it's a cat fight.
Like girls do. Mm-hmm. Like girls do. It reminds me of how Peter McNeely ran at Mike Tyson that time and ran right up on him and got dropped. As soon as he got up on him, pow! And people stopped it. You don't run up on somebody you really ain't got them hands like that. But it was I enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed that. It was different.
Breaking news out of the boxing world just came out a little while ago. 11 years after their first fight, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao will meet again in a professional boxing rematch September 19th at the Las Vegas Sphere.
Is this confirmed?
ESPN posted.
So I know he said he was going to do an exhibition fight with Mike Tyson.
I saw that too, but This is a professional boxing rematch, so this ain't an exhibition.
Listen to me, man. Floyd finna tear that man face off.
Yeah. Didn't Pacquiao fight recently and he looked terrible? Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah. Pacquiao still got that jump up on you, back up. You can't do that. He couldn't do it when he was, 5 years ago they fought now?
A little bit. Whatever
it was, he couldn't do it then. So unless Pacquiao needs some money,
What are we doing now? Here we go again. This is the part that we don't have the heavyweight boxer that we need in this sport. This is what we want to see again. This money.
Pacquiao just needs to go on and fight Jake Floyd and get it over with. Or what's his name?
Because he can beat Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, he can beat Jake Paul. That's where he need to go if he want money. But fighting Floyd again don't make no sense. Everybody knows this man is still in fighting shape. Everybody know that.
I don't. They make it a mockery of the sport. That's why this man's comeback sport is where it is, the UFC that he likes. Because to me, boxing, we're looking for the middleweight, welterweight, and those are what we're getting fights in. We don't even, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing?
But watch this. You don't have a John Jones boxing. You know, I mean, Crawford retired, but you know, John Jones was one of those anomalies. You know, what his name until Floyd beat him in the match, the Connor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was the shit until he decided, let me go boxing and get some real money. And I get it, get the money, but those are few and far between. And I think the skill level is so much closer in UFC than boxing. That's why it's such good viewing, good viewership.
Yeah, I agree.
Because in fighting pretty much bare knuckle, oh yeah, you can get caught one good time in boxing and recover. They catch you one good time in UFC, that's your ass.
Lights out.
You know what I mean?
Hell, even take it a step further, Skip, when I went to that bare knuckle fighting championship, which Conor McGregor is part owner in, I keep up with some of those fights every now and then. The rounds are only 2 minutes. Most of them don't go past the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely different.
Serious. Yeah, everything's gonna bust you up. So UFC is one of those things where it's street fighting, it's trained street fighting. That's what that is. And you know, everybody, when I was younger, no.
You don't want no parts there in that octagon.
You don't want any part of a dude who is trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and he knows how to knock you out in one punch.
And he can wrestle.
And put you in
that's what BJJ is, all the grappling and whatnot.
I don't want no parts of it.
None of it. Now pull this pocket knife out and fillet your ass.
Well, there's none. That's why I keep a Glock. Hey, Skip, go ahead and give me your last take, buddy.
Oh man, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I'm late, man. I was busy and time just got by me, but thank you guys for tuning in as always. Let's hop on the subject that I came in on about the refs. When you know there's a problem, if you have a problem in your house, like say you got something plugged into an extension cord and it keeps blinking, you change the extension cord. D made a statement about they're going to make the refs look bad. The refs are making the game look bad. They're running the fans away because you missed the call that was right in your face. You didn't call. You call this call to him because you don't like this player or this team or this coach. Get them out of there. They got a lot of backup refs for that reason. So if the NFL is going to do anything with the replay system, the first rule they should take away is nothing is not reviewable. Everything should be reviewable. If it's a flag, if it's able to have a flag thrown on it, it should be able to be reviewed. This thing with 2 and 3 reviews, 2 reviews, period, I think they should do away with that. If it's something just obscene, then anyway, if you're gonna overhaul the system, overhaul the whole system. Don't pick it piece by piece like you're dragging us along. That's my take.
Well said.
My take is we lost a young man in the NFL player. I'm not gonna mention his name, but we all know it's a touchy situation because he's dealing with mental health. And as we come upon the NFL Combine, like I said, these kids are going to get evaluated because in less than 6 months, they will have life-changing money. We've seen an incident that transpired with one of the local players here. Here it is again with another player, and it's unfortunate what's happened with him losing his life. I'm just to the point. Mental health has to be on the forefront. And you got to have these uncomfortable conversations with family members, friends, when you see a loved one that's struggling. And this kid had the world at his hands. We don't know everything about it, but you know what I'm saying? They get life-changing money, generational type money. and you never know. Football players have one of the highest rates of things of this nature because of the violent sport with the CTA. Not for long, you'll be here in 1 minute or not. You go from making $5 million to $0 in a day, and you're looking for your next job, and you don't know if you're going to get it. And that can be a lot of the world jumping on you because you're taking care of a lot of people. So, I just want you to be mindful, everyone, and take this mental health that we have going on seriously. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Well said. Well said. I'm going to lighten the mood before we get out, though. I'm going to talk about the recently announced enhanced games. I believe in about 20 years, this is going to rival the Olympics if it can catch on. This will be the first year they do it. It's taking place in May out in Vegas. They will have swimming, track, and weightlifting. When I say enhanced, I mean all PEDs, steroids, peptides, whatever, legal.
It's going to be a lot of deaths. This sport is going to cause a lot of people to overdo it and kill themselves.
Now, there will be some regulations within the actual PED aspect of it, but I'm sure they're not going to be like, hey, you can just go ahead and blast 1,000 milligrams of Tren every day, which would probably make your heart explode. But people do it. So right. I'm sure there will be dosage limits and whatnot.
But the bad thing is this. Take a Ray Lewis, who was already a monster. Imagine enhancing him.
So
you enhance somebody that's already a terror, and you make him faster, stronger, and bigger. He's gonna kill somebody.
So
in these games, if they allow that, it's gonna be deaths. I don't know if it's football or what. I don't know what the sport is.
No. Skip swimming, track, and weightlifting.
So
yeah,
it's no contact sport.
Oh, okay.
So you going to allow this to go on? Which we got the Summer Olympics coming up, which will now draw attention so that these athletes or whatever are using. Mm-hmm. Now you will know.
Legal drugs. They still illegal, so they must be going to legalize everything. See, they got to legalize it in order to have these games.
And they in Vegas.
And if they participate in these games, they can drug test them and say, "Oh, you got illegal drugs," and bam, it's still against the law.
Well, think of it like this: like all the in my business, all the THC and hemp drinks are big right now.
Yep.
So they've taken THC off of all the drug tests. They don't even test for it anymore.
That's interesting that these events are going to take place, and we got the Olympics coming on American soil in 2 years. The Summer Olympics.
But I don't think it's going to happen. It's hypothetical now, right, Kev?
No, it's set in stone. They got a venue, they got a date, they got athletes.
Yeah.
Imagine Michael Phelps with 40 more pounds of muscle.
No, sir.
Now, I think where you'll see the challenges in this, I believe it would only be good in in some physical type games and this is worldwide, like competitors from around the world doing this. Because you look at swimming. If you're 245 pounds of just solid muscle, you're gonna fucking sink. You know what I mean? You can probably swim. You can move that. You can probably move, and you're strong with your movements, but you're too heavy to get through the water.
But you think about it, Michael Phelps is 6'7", man, 6'8". He ain't no 5'1".
He was skinny, but he was skinny. He was a string bean.
Yeah.
He's moving through the water like an eel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that,
I don't.
I think it could be a big hit. I think it could be a big hit.
I think it's gonna cause people to overdo it and kill themselves. Like you said, people that's overdoing it with the 1,000 milligrams of Tren or whatever it was you said, making your heart speed up and it could kill you. You don't think now guys are gonna say, you know what, a little bit more can make me blah 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 blah, and then I can go compete. People are gonna die trying to get ready for these games. And see, there's no feeling, there's no record to go for. You get what I'm saying? Unless they use the Olympic records and make them. When you do this, then you're elite. You get what I'm saying? So every time somebody does something, it's going to be a record in this sport. So people are going to be I think that's somebody's going to die messing around like that. I don't want nobody to die. I don't wish death on nobody. Oh, that's crazy. And like you said, it's only swimming, weightlifting, and what was the other one?
Track
or field.
We're going to see so many torn muscles and man.
But that's another side of it, because there are things you can take that reinforce your joints, ligaments, muscles. It does all of that.
But see, in track and field, you got to be fast anyway. You got to already be fast. You understand me? To say, let me enhance what I got. And weightlifting, there's a lot of strong people out there. So yeah, you're gonna have some more guys come on the scene with strength. In swimming, you got to already be a world-class swimmer to really make a difference when it comes to steroids. So
yeah. I'm ashamed of you because you didn't mention this. They won another race.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Michael Jordan's team actually was the same driver, Tyler Reddick. We had the first race here in Atlanta this past weekend. I will be in Nashville with all the guys I usually go to the races with.
I got a question. Because when we went to the race, Bubba Wallace was leading that race, right? And he gave out when we went, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bubba Wallace was winning again yesterday with 2 laps or whatever laps and gave out again, Skip. But
interesting. And to add to that, Bubba Wallace is the second driver under Michael Jordan's team.
Yeah. So they won as a team. I'm just,
NASCAR is a team sport. People forget that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's definitely a team sport. But I feel like if you ran out of gas, it could have been one of those situations where, and I'm referring to movies, so correct me, either one of y'all, when I say something that's not right. But I know I watched racing things in movies where the guy was like, okay, come pit. He was like, no, if I don't pit, I can stay in front until the end. If I run out of gas, then my friend will win. You get what I'm saying? So for these guys to be as professional as they are, the pit crews, he shouldn't have ran out of gas.
He didn't. I don't think he ran out. Did he run out?
No, he's just saying that. I mean, something. I don't. There was a wreck that happened because my guy Kyle Larson, he led for 50 laps, but as I've told y'all in the past, he can win anywhere but Atlanta. He does this every damn time.
Yeah,
quite literally every friggin' time. So yeah, man. I mean, NASCAR is such a weird thing. I mean, just think how our cars act when it's too cold outside.
Yeah.
Now you've got a mechanical beast.
Yeah.
That is trying to adjust to different conditions every week, and sometimes the tuning's not right. Something can blow out randomly. You're running we're a super speedway, so you're going 200 plus.
Right. And
now I got it. This is just something to throw out here. Michael Jordan wins this lawsuit. His team wins this lawsuit for the whole NASCAR. I do believe. Am I right, kid? It wasn't just for him.
Yeah, it was for all of them. They changed some rules in NASCAR because of
so that, quite ironically, his team has won the Daytona, and they came back and won at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That doesn't happen too often. Am I right, kid?
Correct.
And with the same driver.
Correct.
So I gotta see as the season go on how this goes, because all of a sudden now he couldn't win a race. Their team couldn't win a race, and now they won 2 major races in the beginning of the season, back to back. Not saying it's funny business, but I'm just saying.
Well, good driving is going to be good driving.
Okay.
Situation.
When a driver gets hot, they get hot. It's like a golfer.
Like Schumacher, Kyle Schumacher with the open wheel, what's it called? Formula One. He couldn't be beat for 5-6 years. Then all of a sudden, he couldn't win. He couldn't even place in the top 5. Yeah. It's just one of those things, and with racing is so fickle. Like Kev said, the car might act up. You might have a blowout. You might get bumped. And, momentum and everything else happens. It's more psychological than anything with racing, because you're taking a chance every time you go around that track at 200 plus miles an hour.
I mean, because Kev, I thought that number 22, Kev can't stand him. Number 22. Who is it, Kev?
Fuck Joey Logano.
There you go. He was running. His car was running, and they wrecked him, and that was the end of that. Just like that.
And you don't hear that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think of the kicker. You know, you see it all the time in the NFL. A kicker might go 3 years without missing a field goal from 50 plus, and then he can't make one all season.
The Falcons kicker.
Yeah.
Was on fire and missed a crucial kick, and wow, you out of there. He ain't in the league no more.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You got to feel it too. And remember, you're going 200 miles an hour. You know, you hit a ladybug the wrong way crossing the track, you might flip. You know,
was Skip. Me and him seen it, and we was like, it was just one little bump, and all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
They won't even race if the track is too cold.
Yeah, no, because it gets slippery.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold out there, but hey.
Yeah, that wind. Who you could have paid me with that damn wind yesterday?
No, sir.
No,
and
sir.
Look, they showed the
stands. In the 30s.
They showed the stands. How when we went, it was packed. Them folks was out there like you. The stands was empty. I was like, they got to be some fools. And then that car coming around that raceway, that wind hitting you after the fact. They hit you after the fact.
They on the next turn, and then you get the blast.
Yeah,
well,
you
the
get the
bad
blast
part that we have.
No.
The bad part we have here in Atlanta is where we're set up in they run the races basically the same time, like same week, not week, but it's the same schedule every year, pretty much. And where Atlanta always falls, it's either right here in our second or third winter, or it's in the dead heat of freaking Georgia summer.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then we only do the night race every other year. So sometimes, and that's always during the summer. So that one's cool because then, you know, by the time the race is starting, it's cooling down a little bit. But it's either way too cold because it's always in February or it's in the middle of summer.
No.
Right there in July. Well, I think last year was July 22nd. So, all right, fellas. Well, we're going to get on out of here. Good show, everybody. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. We will be back next Monday night. Until then, please make sure that the beer stays cold and the wings stay lemon pepper, baby. We are out.